Hi, everyone. This is my unedited review of the Canon 5D Classic. I'm going to do this without any cuts. So if there's any flubs or anything, I'm just going to leave them in there. I'm just going to talk for a little bit about this camera. I've had it for a while now, and I've taken thousands of pictures on this thing. It's really great. I got this very early on. So you've watched my last review on the Nikon EM. You know that I bought that camera a little over a decade ago. Found it, got back into shooting film, and when I did, I immediately knew it would be more economical to shoot on digital, especially as I was learning and getting to kind of feel things out. So I did some research, and everywhere I looked said the Canon 5D Classic was the way to go. It's very film-like. Its ISO range is very comparable to a typical ISO range of film. The color science of the Digic 2 processor is just phenomenal. And I completely agree with all those things. I actually picked this camera up for $56 and then slowly started accumulating some EF mount lenses. My most recent acquisition is my Canon EF 35 1.4 lens. It's just incredible lens compatibility. I can't say enough nice things about this camera. This camera had a good long life before I got a hold of it. It was used professionally by a photographer out on the West Coast. She shot weddings, she shot portraits. She did some awesome work, and I got to see some of that in the sales listing when I bought this on eBay. But again, I couldn't have asked for a better camera to get started out on. I was a huge fan of the fact that I could take a lot of pictures on this thing and take them into Lightroom and really just level them out, crop them if I needed to. But I rarely messed with a lot of the colors. Like, the colors were just really solid. The file size on the CF card, very manageable. CF cards for a gigabyte to cost ratio are a lot more expensive than SD cards. So there's that to take into consideration. The battery life on this camera, incredible. I could get through a whole day of shooting and literally just rely on the sleep mode to put the camera to sleep when I wasn't using it. I kind of hated this on off button here. I always felt like I was breaking it. It just had a really loud clunk to it. As you can tell, this camera was well loved. It literally had a good life before I got a hold of it. Again, I know I've said that, but it's so true. I replaced the port covers on this side. They were completely deteriorated. The battery door was broken. Fixed that. A little hot glue, no problem. This kept wanting to fall off. Just, again, little double-sided sticky tape behind there, and it kept it on just fine. This camera died. That's why there's no limbs on it. That's one of the reasons why there's no limbs on it. There's no battery in it or memory card in it. This camera recently gave up, and I was out shooting with it, and over the course of like 15 to 20 pictures, I started to notice, hey, there's some darkness developing around the bottom of the frame, essentially the top of the sensor. And what was happening is the shutter was just simply dying. I looked into what would it cost to get it fixed. Sending it off somewhere would have been just beyond unreasonable. The camera, again, I bought it for $56. They can be had for under $200 on eBay. It just didn't make sense to spend over $300-400 to get it fixed when I could just replace it. Fixing it myself, not a great option, even though I'm pretty handy and professionally I do IT work for school, so I work on a lot of laptops. I have a background in electronics repair. That would have been something of my skill set to fix it. Parts availability was just so limited that it really was just a huge risk. And again, it's like putting a new motor in a car that has over 200,000 miles on it. Sure, you got a fresh motor, but everything else is starting to wear out. So I decided to replace this camera. I like the Canon ecosystem so well. Again, I've accumulated so many lenses. I decided to replace it with another Canon camera. I'll get into more what I replaced it with in another video. This video is purely focused on the 5D. Um, Again, it's just, like I said, incredible. I've taken so many pictures of my family and my kids that I just adore. I took them on this camera, and so, I mean, for a 20-year-old camera, it holds up. And again, this one died. The shutter gave out on it, but I wouldn't take that as a reason to avoid a 5D Classic. If you can find one for a reasonable price, absolutely. Some negatives, the autofocus system. I was never a huge fan of it. It did okay on my 50 millimeter EF lens, not so great on my 35. Again, that had a little bit of a um, shorter range on it, between the end of the focus and the infinity. So, just the autofocus system was a big negative. Um, but that was really about it from the things I don't like about this camera. When I first grabbed it, I was like, "Man, this thing is huge." Because I was used to APS-C sensor cameras, digital cameras before that, and when I got my hands on this thing, I was like, "My goodness, this thing is a monster." But that weight really helps balance it out when you put some quality lenses on it. And I like to use it on a side strap, and even more so, it really it hangs well. It has a good feel to it. It's a little windy out here, so ignore the wind. But that's basically it. That's my review of the 5B Classic. I'm gonna be selling this one for parts on eBay. It's got a brand new rubber door. I got some new batteries. I got that old to go with it, and I'll miss it for sure. I'm very happy with so far with the camera I replaced it with. I'll do a review of that video, that camera in a future video. Uh, in the meantime, I'm gonna put up some of my favorite shots I've taken with this camera, um, and just kind of also show you too the unfortunate and unedited last few pictures this camera took. Um, but with that, I'll leave it be, and I appreciate you watching this, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in another video here in the future. Have a good one. Bye.